This video will show you how to change the axes on your graph so that you can focus on just the portion of the graph that is relevant. So to do that, first of all, open up your CMBL file and then select the graph that you want to change the axes on. So you do that just by clicking on it. So I've selected the position versus time graph for this data set. And right off the bat, you can see that there's just one portion of it that's of interest. This big spike here is something that happened after the ball rolled across the horizontal portion of the graph of the track. So it looks to me like this must have been the marble that was rolling along the horizontal portion because there's a constant change in the position versus time graph. So this is the area that we're interested in. So I'm going to go up to Options, Graph Options, and now I'm on Axes Options. So I just want to choose the part of the graph that the action is occurring in. On the y-axis, it's happening between 0 and, let's say, 0.6, just so we capture it all. So that means the top label, we want to be 0.6. And you'll see that it's automatically scaled it now from 0 to 0.6, and now we've captured that part of the graph that we care about. And then I want to do the same thing for the the x-axis. So right now looks like the action is ending after 1 second. So I just want to change this to 1 second. Okay. And it chose 2 seconds for some reason. So I'm going to now grab the graph and stretch it out and get rid of that blip that we really don't care about and force it to go from 0 to 1 second. So now this is the portion of the graph that we care about. For the position time, for the velocity time, we now want to focus on the portion of the graph from 0 to -2 or 3. So on the x-axis, it's going from 15 to -10. Let's change that to 0 to -3. And now it's changed my both axes again, so I'm going to drag this back to the part that I want. And that looks good enough for our purposes. So now to get the actual data that you want for that portion, in other words, the data table, you're just going to select it. And that shows you the data for the part where the marble is actually rolling across the horizontal section. So what's going on here is it looks like it's moving in the negative direction because the ball was rolling towards the motion detector. And the motion detector assumes that going away from it is the positive direction and going towards it is the negative direction. So negative slope is what we would expect here. And the velocity is changing a little bit over this period of time, which you'll need to explain in your write-up. But you've captured the portion of the motion that you're interested in.